Welcome to getting started on TikTok and best practice. I'm Maddie Alexander-Grout. I'm a neuro-inclusive business and money coach. What that means is I help people who have got ADHD, neurodivergent conditions, to be better with their money and better in business. Our brains work completely different to other people, so I help people, especially those who are neurodivergent. But all of the trainings that I do are neuro-inclusive, which means that anybody can join them no matter what their brain type. I'm an influencer. I used to hate the word influencer, but everybody has to be the go-to expert in their niche. If we're not the go-to expert in our niche, nobody wants to know from us, nobody wants to buy from us. So the point of being influential, whatever your niche is, we all want to be influencers. Not influencers in the scary, horrible, nasty social media vibe kind of way, but we all need to be influential in the thing that we do. My background's in corporate social media. I was working in corporate social for 7 years before I became self-employed. I started my business, which ran for 8 years. I bought businesses, I sold businesses, I scaled businesses, I raised investment. And I also had a business that failed as well, which taught me way more than everything else. So it's a really, really good kind of scope. We often learn from sort of the big gurus who never talk about failure. And failure sometimes is the thing that teaches us the most. I'm a multi-potentialite. For those of you guys who don't know that phrase, I would suggest going and having a look at it. Essentially, it means that I do every single thing under my own personal brand. So people know me for a lot of different things. They know me as Maddie the money specialist, Maddie the business coach, Maddie the TikTok specialist. I've also got an app called Mad About Money. I've got a podcast of the same name as well. And I'm also a neurodiversity in the workplace trainer. So I am fully versed on all neurodivergent conditions. That's a bit about me. So let's get on to TikTok. Why should you be there? There are 1.9 billion active users on TikTok, and that is growing every single day. It's actually one of the largest social media platforms, and in the last 5 years, it has grown to be one of the biggest and one of the best, especially in terms of reach. If you've heard the term SEO before, search engine optimization, essentially it's the thing that somebody would search for when they come and look at your business. They will type into Google, I'm looking for a therapist or a TikTok trainer or whatever. They want to find you. SEO is the thing that will help you to show up. TikTok is amazing for SEO, and I'm going to be talking to you guys a bit more about that as we go along. Your clients are there. No matter what they are, whether you sell business to business or whether or not you sell to consumer, your clients will be there. There are pockets of people on TikTok called talks, and within those talks are people who share the same likes, the same values, the same interests. And when you're talking to those clients, that's how you start to build your community. And TikTok is very much about community. So whoever you sell to, you should be on TikTok. You can beat the competition. So whoever you sell to, whoever your competition, you should have competition as a business. It's good to have competition. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the competition and how you can scope them out in a bit. But it's a very good thing if your competition are on TikTok, you can go and check them out. If they're doing well on TikTok, it means that you can do well on TikTok. If they're not there already, then it means that you've got the monopoly on the market. So either way, it's a really, really good thing. There are more viral opportunities on TikTok than any other platform, like literally any. I could post the same video on TikTok and it will reach hundreds of thousands of people, and I'll post it on Instagram and it will reach 46 people. They are very, very different platforms. So short form content, video wise, really great. You can have it on any platform, but TikTok is really special when it comes to boosting people and pushing them out through the algorithm. If you get it right, you are onto a winner. You can get PR from TikTok. Journalists used to hang out on Twitter, but now they actively hang out on TikTok looking for stories. So if there's something in the news, if there's something in the press, if you're doing a reaction video to it, that's a really good thing, because not only is it current, it's topical, it can go viral really quickly. You can also get in the news with it. You can find collaborations. So literally anybody. If you want to collaborate with influencers, you want to collaborate and find people for podcasts, if you want to be on people's podcasts, the best way to do that is by engaging with other people's accounts, getting directly under their nose. They'll understand that you are somebody who follows their content, somebody who wants to work with them, and you can then reach out to them. They're more likely to accept a collaboration request if they know who you are. You can sell products or make money from content. You can also make money from things behind the scenes in TikTok as well. So if you have a link in your bio, which I'm going to be talking about in a minute, you can make money there as well. So when you're getting started on TikTok, the first things that you need to do, you need to create an account and you need to choose your business account type. So you need either a business or a personal account. So personal is also known as a creator account. There are two very distinct business differences between personal and business. So with business, if you have a physical product and you want to sell it on TikTok Shop, business should be the one that you choose. If you are a business who is a coach or somebody who does therapies or doesn't sell a specific product, you sell a service, then you will always want to be a creator. The only issue with being a creator is that you don't get a link in your bio until you hit 1,000 followers. But by following all of these tips, you should hit 1,000 followers very quickly. Just as a bit of a comparison, it took me 3 months to get the link in my bio. It took me 3 months of being consistent, showing up, engaging, and learning all of these things that I'm going to tell you about today to be able to get that link in my bio. But once I did, it was a game changer. You need to enter your phone number and your email. You need to choose a username and your nickname. Add a profile picture. This is really important. Your profile picture needs to be the same picture that you have on all of your other social media accounts. It really helps if somebody is following you on one platform to get them to follow you on another if they recognize your face. Do not, under any circumstances, have your business logo as your profile pic. Now, the reason I say this is because people build know, like, and trust with your face. They're much more likely to follow a face account than a faceless account. So when you're creating your bio, if you have your business logo as your logo on your page, change it to a picture of you. I promise you it will start making a difference. Then you need to add your headline. So your headline can be absolutely anything. It can be whatever you want it to be. But my biggest tips, make sure that it says what you do. Okay. What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? So for me, I'm an ADHD money and business coach. I help people to be better with money and better in business if they've got ADHD. I'm often in the press. Now, the reason I've put this here because it helps people to know that I am a notable person of interest. The fact that I've got a blue tick also kind of helps with that. And I've got an app called Mad About Money app. So I need to put that in there. You only have 80 characters and those characters are searchable. So if somebody is wanting to find a Canva coach or a beauty therapist or whatever, they can search for that and your bio will come up. So make sure that your name is representative of the thing that you do. So mine is Mad About Money Official. I do everything under that brand name. You guys might want to put your personal name. I always think that personal names, like, the name you were given at birth is the thing that will help people to follow you because it builds that know, like, and trust. If you can have a link in your bio, pop it in there, but don't sign up for a business account just to get that link in your bio because your reach will not be as good as if you've got a creator account. There's also a lot of limitations depending on what account type you've got. So just bear that in mind. Think about what are you selling? So I sell money and business coaching. So it's really obvious what I do. It does what it says on the tin. So think about your main products, your main services. What do people want to know you for? What do you want to be known for? Before you get started, I want you guys to do these things. And it's really important. Don't skip these because they really, really will help you when you start to make your content. I want you to go and scope out your competition. I want you to type in what you do in the search bar in TikTok, and I want you to go and see who's out there and what sort of videos they're creating. The reason we do this is not to get imposter syndrome. It's not to think, oh my God, all these people are doing so much better than me. It's to help you to understand what sort of things are working for your niche. It's really important. Write down some of the things that you find. If somebody's doing, if you're a Reiki person, like write down the sort of things that people are talking about in your industry. Don't copy them, but write down the sort of things that people are talking about. It helps you to make a plan. When I say make a plan, what I want you to do is I want you to write your name or put a picture of yourself, do it on Canva or do it on a piece of paper, write your name in the middle of a piece of paper, and then write down every single thing that you can that relates back to your business. How did you start your business? What does your business do? What do you sell? How do you make your products? What do you do in your spare time? What should people know about you? What was your first job? Make a plan. All of these things that you write down on your piece of paper will really help you on days where you think, I really can't be asked to show up today. Have a play around with the app. You won't break it, especially if you've not recorded any content, but having a play around will help you to get used to some of the functions and the features and the functionality of the app. You can have a look at some of the effects that are there. You can have a look at how to record in the app. You can play around. There is a drafts folder, and the drafts folder will be your best friend. Find some friends on the app. So when I say find some friends, don't go and follow your actual friends, because sadly in business, friends, we always think that they should support us, but they don't. We want to be finding people who are going to like our content. So the best friends to find are friends who are commenting on other people's videos that are going to be very similar to the ones that you're going to create. Go and follow some people in your niche. TikTok is a very, very supportive community. And actually, it's more collaboration over competition. So as long as you're not going on to somebody's video and going, I do this better than you, and tap, tap, tappity tapping and trolling, then they're going to be really happy that you're actually supporting their content. So go and find some friends. Don't follow millions of people, because if you are slow to get off the ground, when people follow loads of people, it's a bit of a red flag. So try not to follow people unless you know that you're going to engage in their content. Okay. You need to train the algorithm. When you first get started on TikTok, you will see videos of teenagers doing lip syncing. You'll see people dancing the Macarena. You'll see people just messing around. You'll see talking cats, dogs that have fluffy bums. All of these things you will see when you first get started on TikTok. And the reason is that TikTok doesn't know you yet. So many people go onto TikTok and think, oh my God, this is a horrible platform. It's not for me, because they see all of this rubbish. You need to train the algorithm to make it your friend. Once you train the algorithm, you will see content that you like, content that appeals to you, but you'll also see content that relates to your niche, which really helps you when you're building your business. Practice never makes perfect. When I did my first TikTok video 2.5 years ago, it was absolutely goddamn awful. It was literally the most rubbish piece of content ever. You can still go and check out the videos that I did during the pandemic. I've got a backup account, Maddie Alexander-Grout. You can go and have a look at it on TikTok. It's quite embarrassing, some of the stuff that I actually used to post. I used to do all the lip syncing and the trends, and then I realized that actually it doesn't work for my niche, so I don't do them anymore. I just do face to camera talking type videos. But we're going to talk a little bit more about the trends and about things that you can do on the app that will help you to grow your followers quicker. But practicing is going to be the key for everything. The more you practice, the better you get at it. I used to be all like, and like really wooden with my content. Now I am pretty much somebody who doesn't say and really ever. You're probably going to go and have a look at my videos now and go, you said it there. But the thing is, you just need to practice. And the more you practice, the better you will get. There are different types of content on TikTok. So there are video content, there's stories, there's text, there's photos. Video is the main thing that TikTok prioritizes because it is a video content app. There are 3 different types of length. And when you first get started, really you should be doing shorter videos. So 15 seconds to a minute is plenty. People don't have a very long attention span when it comes to TikTok. So by doing shorter videos, you're going to get a larger watch time, which means that TikTok will push you out to the For You page. Stories are very, very short. They're short-lived. They only last for about 24 hours. They used to show them on the grid. They've stopped doing that now. So people actually have to click on your photo to see stories. They will still end up on the For You page if it's the right sort of thing for your content. Stories help people to kind of get that know, like, and trust. And stories I would always recommend as doing things that you don't care if they don't stick around. Because really, if you're doing a video and you've spent hours on it and you want people to come and watch it, you want it to be on your grid. You want it to be there forever. Text is a really, really good thing that you can use if you really cannot be bothered to show up. TikTok went through a big stage of promoting text pictures. It's really good if you've got something you want to sell, you want to do something really quickly. Text is really useful. Photos, never post a photo on its own. Always post a carousel. So a carousel is where you post 4 to 6 photos. They tell a story. So you need to put some writing over the top of your photo, telling a story. People want to be able to go from one photo to another, to another, to another, and either learn something. So you could be giving tips. You could be telling a story of your life, or how you started your business, or what products you've got available. But make sure that if you're using photos, you tell a story. Always keep a bank of selfies, professional photos, whatever you've got ready to post. And I know accounts that have gone mega viral who have never, ever, ever posted a video. All they've ever done is photos. So it is possible to go viral just with photos alone. Content pillars. So I teach content pillars in a very random way. You'll probably never ever see anybody talking about content pillars the way that I do, but you'll probably remember this forever. It's really easy to remember how to do content pillars when you can see something visual. So you are the table, okay? You have 4 legs. Your 4 legs are what give you a stable table. Your tablecloth is your personal brand, what keeps the whole thing together. So you need to be showing the real you. It's not just sales video after sales video. You need to be giving some value. You need to be talking about you and showing the real you. The main topics that you need to cover, right, okay, are your table legs. So, for example, I talk about ADHD, money, business, and TikTok. It's very rare that I will talk about anything on my grid that doesn't come under those 4 categories. If I talk about anything that is random, it's usually in my stories. Sometimes I talk about things that are political or topical news, which kind of come under the money situation. But you want to make sure that you've got 4 content pillars that relate to what you do, and do not deviate from those. Think about what you want to be known for and allocate a table leg to each of those things. If you talk about all of those 4 topics consistently, then your table will remain stable. If you stop talking about one of those things, you're going to lose some of your vases. Any guesses what the vases are? They are your audience. You want to be adding more vases to your table. The more vases, the better. But if one of your table legs falls off, your table's going to go wonky, your vases are going to fall off. So you don't want people to unfollow you. So by keeping a stable table, your vases will stay up there. Your tablecloth is the thing that molds it all together. That's you, that's the personal brand. And if you want to do any TikTok shop stuff, you can weave it in. But my recommendation on TikTok shop, do not do it unless the products that you're going to sell relate to your business, because otherwise people will just lose interest. They won't buy. You're not going to be selling to your ideal client. When you're talking about your main topics, there are 4 different types of thing that you need to be bearing in mind. Is it educational? Is it entertaining? Is it informing people of something? Is it telling a story? Storytelling is by far the biggest thing at the moment on TikTok. It's the thing that gets people the most views. If you stick to telling people every single time you create a piece of content, is it educational? Is it entertaining? Is it informing? Is it storytelling? If it doesn't fit into one of those categories, you don't want to be talking about it. Yes, of course, we all run businesses and we all need to sell. So you can weave in the sales posts in there, but just bear in mind that if you sell all the time, people are going to turn off. What you want to be doing is driving people up to the link in your bio. The link in your bio, it's really basically the only way that anybody can buy anything from anybody in TikTok, apart from TikTok Shop. So people just know that that's where they go to buy from you. You don't have to tell them what you've got available for them to go and check out what you're selling. So, in fact, the less obvious you are with your sales tactics, the better. So, your content, let's think about what you actually want to be creating here. So, think about what you want to be known for. Do you want to be known as the best hairdresser in the whole of the South Coast, for example? Talk about the thing that you want to be known for. Stop thinking of the algorithm as some weird, horrible thing that is sent to get you. The algorithm is built up of people, and I'm going to tell you how it works to get you onto the For You page in a minute. Think about what the impact is. What are you actually trying to tell people? How are you making them feel? What's the point of the content that you actually are creating? What do you want to leave your audience with? Plan the topics. So, before I said write down everything on a piece of paper, have it stuck to your desk or wherever you record your content. Make sure that you've got a plan of the sorts of things that you want to talk about. And by going and having a look at other people in your niche, you will find the things that are working for them. Look at the hashtags they're using. Look at the sort of hook that they're using. The hook is the thing that makes people watch your videos. Remember that TikTok is dopamine centric. So when you've got the 1 minute videos, the 15-second, you've also got 10 minutes. When you first start out, nobody is going to watch a 10-minute video of you because they don't know who you are. Even me now with 60,000 followers, I still don't very often do videos that are more than 3 minutes because people just don't have the attention span. But on the same kind of breath as that, you want to make sure that you're cutting the fluff. So what do I mean by cutting the fluff? So when you do a video, my biggest bugbear is people saying, "Hi, I'm Maddie, I do this." Nobody cares. With the greatest will in the world, nobody cares what you do. They just want to know about what you're going to teach them. What are they going to learn? Are they going to be entertained? Are they going to get value from your video? Once you start getting followers, then you can start doing videos about who you are, what you do, because you'll already have some followers. So you're going to get more engagement. But make sure that you cut the fluff. Things like, "I'm just popping on," or "I'm just doing a TikTok video," "I've not been here for a while." All of those types of things, they are fillers. You don't need them. And the first 3 to 4 seconds of your video is so, so, so important that why would you spend the first 3 to 4 seconds of your video telling somebody that you're just popping on? They can see you. They have eyes. They know they know that you're there. They know you're creating a video. So cut out the fluff. You don't want to be using like fillery type words. Also, if you're not sure what you're going to say before you say it, write a list. Put some bullet points on there. There is a stop video. There is a stop button if you're recording in the app, so you don't have to do it all in one go. Think about what you want to achieve from your video. Is there a call to action? What are you telling people to do? Do you want people to follow you? Do you want people to comment? Are you going to ask them a question? Do you want them to engage with you? If you do, then you need to be thinking about what the call to action is. So every time you create a video, think about what actions you want that person to take. When you start with your first video will probably get not very many views at all. So you need to start really small. That can be your introduction video. That can be your, "Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm a money specialist. I help people with ADHD to be better with money," or whatever you do. Start small and introduce yourself first. Find trends that are going on in your niche. So by looking up the content, finding people who are in your niche, you're going to see what types of trends are working for them. Use trending music. So there are some caveats here. You can only use trending music if you have a creator or personal account. You cannot use trending music if you've got a business account. Use the effects. There is a little button down here that says effects. You can search through them, find effects. Those sorts of things will help your videos to go a bit further in the early days. Really, we want to get to a point where actually we don't have to use trending music. We don't have to use the effects. I don't really ever use trending music, mainly because of the fact that when I got my blue tick, TikTok decided to classify my account as a business, even though I was a creator before. So I can't get the trending music. It's very frustrating. Utilize it if you can, and when you can, but just bear in mind that there are a few caveats with it. It's like ripping off a plaster. you're not going to get better if you don't start. Every single video that you do, you will improve. And actually, you kind of want the shit ones at the beginning because you're going to want to look back in a year's time and see how far you've grown, which is why you should never, ever, ever delete a TikTok video. TikTok videos can go viral at literally any time. So I had a video last week that went viral that I posted nearly a year ago. They can sometimes just pick up traction. If one person sees it, they comment on it. If somebody's searching for it, they comment on it. Your video can go viral at any time. Just do it. My biggest tip, look at yourself in the camera. Don't look at where the camera film is. Look yourself in the eye. So when you're looking yourself in the eye, it just means that when people are scrolling, you're also going to be looking them in the eye. Eye contact builds that know, like, and trust. It's really hard, especially if you're neurodivergent, to look at yourself when you're recording content, but just do it. And make sure that your lighting is as good as you possibly can make it. Try and not do it with the sunshine in the background. Like, lighting is really important as well. But the more you play around with it, the more you're gonna figure out, and the better it's gonna be. Searching. So there is a search bar. Along the top, you've got videos, users, sounds, shop, live. If you scroll a little bit further along, there's also hashtags. You can check out your niche. You can search for your business name. I had a client the other day that I was working for, and she searched her business name, and there were people who were already writing content and making videos about her brand, which was really cool. Write down ideas, find influencers. When I say find influencers, I don't mean the Stacey Solomons and the Stephen Bartletts of this world. I mean people who have got between about 10 and 100,000 followers who are in your niche. They're going to be the people who are more likely to engage with you, engage with your content, but also they're going to be the people who will probably reply to you, which means that you're more likely to get followers. Also, you're going to find followers in their niche as well. So, if you're following somebody who is doing very similar things to you, you're engaging with those people, it's very likely you're going to be getting in front of their audience as well. Record everything. When I mean record everything, even if you think it's going to be really, really boring, just you walking down the street, you can record that as a B-roll. If you've not heard about B-roll before, B-roll is essentially sort of content that you make where you're doing something and you can put text over the screen. You're more likely to see it on Instagram than you are on TikTok. B-roll content as well. Remember, there is a stop button. So when you press record on the TikTok app, if you press that button again, it stops it so that you don't have to do the whole thing in one go. You can save everything in your drafts. You can come back to it later. If you're feeling a little bit scared about posting something, you can keep it in your drafts to edit afterwards as well. Just accidentally hit my keyboard there. When you're writing your content, so after you've recorded your video, it will come up as, post your video. You're going to be wanting to put a content caption in there. You can write 4,000 characters. You don't want to write 4,000 characters. You want to be writing probably a couple of sentences at the most. Use keywords that relate to your niche because they are SEOable. I probably just made that word up, but people can search for them on the app. So if people are talking about your video, they're searching for things, your video is more likely to come up if you've got these keywords written in your captions. So, editing your videos. This is something that I haven't taught people about before, so this is quite important. If you go to there's like a little button that you see in the middle, there is a little screen which has like an arrow at either side. That is where you edit your videos. Once you press that button, it will take you behind the scenes and you can do things like split. So split will basically cut your video up depending on where you're speaking. So you can actually chop bits out in the middle of your video if you want to. You can do smart trim, which will take away any dead air. One of the biggest things on TikTok is if you start your video with dead air at the beginning, you're not going straight into the talking part. That's 2 to 3 seconds that somebody could scroll past your video. So you're going to want to make sure there's no dead air. You can use templates. I recommend not using templates, but you can use them there. The replace function is really, really useful. So if you're using that stop button and you record a bit, then you stop, then you record a bit, you stop, you've got a whole video, but the middle section, you decide that you really, really hate it and actually you want to replace it with something else. If you press the replace, it will give you that short period of time where you can actually re-record that small section of your video. So it's really interesting. If you do something wrong, you don't have to record the whole video again. You just replace that little bit. Volume, really important. So if you click onto your video, it will give you along the bottom, there's a scroll bar. You can see here volume. It will give you the option of editing the volume of your video. So if you've recorded something and it's a bit low, you can't hear the sound as much, you can put it up. You can also change your voice. Some people don't like the sounds of their own voice, so you can change your voice using the little voice activation thing. You can be a chipmunk. You can use a spooky voice or a giant voice or whatever voice you want to use. If you're not happy with your own voice, you can do that. Some people prefer to do it that way anyway. Hashtags. Hashtags are constantly changing, but at the moment, the best number of hashtags to reach your ideal audience is 3 to 6. Think about SEO. Think about the sort of thing that somebody would search for on Google if they were searching for your video. You don't want to be using really, really popular. So, for example, if you're in the self-care industry, you can go onto hashtags in the search bar. You can search and do some hashtag research and see which ones are working. So ones that I would use here, self-care tips, 144.2 thousand. It's popular, but it's not too popular that you're going to get lost in a sea of everybody. Self-care, 10.8 million. You don't want to be using that hashtag because it's just going to lose you. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, in any world ever, use hashtag FYP. It is the most used hashtag on TikTok. You will be sent to basically TikTok wasteland. Nobody will ever see your content if you're using FYP. Find related content. So find related content. Can you see up here in this little search bar? It says Access to Work Grant UK in the search bar. Okay. By doing your videos and getting your hashtags right, getting your captions right, getting what you're talking about in your video right, that should say something. If it says something in that search bar on your videos, so if you've already got a TikTok account, go and check to see if any of your videos have that in the search bar. If it's in the search bar, it basically means that you're hitting your SEO. It means that if somebody's searching for your video, they're going to find it. If it says find related content, you haven't hit your SEO markers. If somebody searches for your video, they're not going to find that particular video. So it just means you need to work harder on your keywords, on your hashtags. When you're using your hashtags, think about, do they relate to my niche? Do they relate to the video? Don't do really broad hashtags like beauty, for example, because it's just not going to get you anywhere. Go and do some research on the hashtags that are best performing in your niche. The ones that you're going to want are the ones that have uses in the thousands, not uses in the millions, because uses in the millions, you will get lost in TikTok wasteland. Music and sounds. So people get this wrong a lot. When to use music and when not to. If you're doing a video when you're just talking to the camera, never use music in the background. Or if you are going to use music, make sure that it's an instrumental. Because if you're talking and you've got music playing in the background and it's got words, people are going to hear two sets of words, and that's mega confusing for anybody, let alone if you've got a neurodivergent audience. That's like something which is an instant scroll for me. If someone's got music and it's got words and they're talking at the same time. If you're doing a B-roll video, you're almost definitely going to want to use viral music. So you can search for viral and it will bring up all of the types of different viral music that's available. What's currently viral? You can also watch videos where TikTok content creators will tell you what the viral songs of the week are, so you can get them early. You don't want to be hopping on trends using viral music if it's got millions and millions of uses, because again, you're going to get lost. If things are like in the low thousands, it means that they're on the rise. So that's when you want to jump on a trend. The different types of music that you can use will vary depending on what account you've got. If you've got a business account, you will not be able to use the likes of Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all of the popular types of creators. You're not going to be able to use their music. The reason being is that they are copyrighted, so they're not meant for business use. The annoying thing when you get verified, it takes away your right to use viral music from those kind of creators. So you get stuck with the boring business music. This is why having a creator account is so much more important because you get access to so many more things. The one thing that you want to bear in mind, though, is that TikTok can have the right to remove anybody's music at any given time. So if you've used something like Beyonce or Taylor Swift in the background of your video, TikTok can remove that at any point, and they won't care if you've spoken over the top of it. They will just remove the entirety of the sound from your video. So if you've spent hours creating something where you're giving people some vital life lessons and then you suddenly end up with no sound, it's probably because TikTok have decided to take away that viral music. So you're better off just using your voice any way you can. It doesn't matter if TikTok decides to take away some music from a B-roll video that you've done. It doesn't really matter because you're still doing something in that video. There's still text on the screen. You're still doing something. But if they take it away and you're just going like a wide mouth fish or whatever, that's not going to be useful for your audience. It's not going to be useful for you because you've spent time creating that content. So just bear it in mind. If you want to record a voiceover for your video, so a lot of people don't like speaking on camera, and that's totally fine. If you're recording yourself doing something, or you're going and filming your products or whatever, and you want to tell people what it is without having to use your voice on it, you can use a voiceover. So again, this is in the edit section behind the scenes. If you tap the sound button, it will come up with voiceover. It will come up with a red button similar to when you're recording the video, and then you can record your voiceover. You don't have to do it all in one go. If you want to write notes and read it, you can also do that, but it's really helpful. Voiceover videos do very well on TikTok. Hooks. Hooks are the most important thing. If you've got a really, really, really interesting video, but you don't get to the point until like 10 seconds in, people are still going to scroll past. You want to get people's attention. You want to grab them. You want to ask questions. You want people to be commenting. You have 3 to 4 seconds before somebody scrolls on. So you need to make sure that you make that first 3 to 4 seconds count. Some example hooks. Michael Jackson just said this. What were they thinking? I don't know why I just came up with Michael Jackson. It's probably the worst celebrity for it. Like Miley Cyrus just said this. What were they thinking? That would be a good hook. I can't believe this just happened to me. People are going to be like, "Oh my God, what's just happened to them? Why? What's happened?" And they're going to be invested in your content. How buying a Mars bar from Waitrose almost killed me, or whatever. You kind of get the gist. Are you making these common mistakes? Did you see this in the news today? Relate it back to your industry. 10 top tips on how to reduce impulse spending would be one that I would do. How to make a cake using just flour and water. I don't know, just an example. I was today years old when I realized that I didn't have to do something or other. You get the gist, but these kind of hooks are the sort of things that actually get people to watch your content. The FYP, friends following, there are 3 different basically feeds on your TikTok. FYP is the For You page. That's where your content wants to land up. But I'm going to tell you how this works. You're probably thinking, why the hell is there an onion on this page? It's because I have another weird analogy for you. TikTok is like an onion. Your first piece of content is that little bit in the middle. It then goes out to the next layer of the onion. And the next layer of the onion is your friends, the people who follow you already. You want them to be liking your posts, which is why we never do follow for follow. Okay. You'll see all these videos like, oh, follow this, like use this sound, follow this, and I'll follow you back. You never want to do that because those people are not going to be interested in the content you're creating. And then when they see your content, they're not going to like it, which means that it's just going to dull your reach. So never do follow for follow. What you want to be doing is creating engaging content that your followers love. So your followers will like it, then it will get liked, then it will go out to their followers, and then their followers, and then so on and so forth until it ends up on the For You page. When it ends up on the For You page, that's when you're going to get new followers who like your niche. And there are different For You pages for every single talk. So you want to end up on the FYP for your talk, essentially the pocket of people that are going to like your content. And engaging with other people is the most important part. So once you've posted your video, for 5 or 10 minutes, go and find other people in your niche. Go and comment on other people's stuff because they will come back and they will look at yours. And then if they make a comment, they say something on your video, make sure you reply. The more conversation you get going on in your comment section, the more TikTok will push it out to the FYP. So when you're thinking about the algorithm, don't think about it as a machine that is sent to ruin your life. It is just pockets of people. You need to beat the pockets of people. So if you're stuck at the 200 views mark, it's because you're not doing something right with your content. It's not because the algorithm's sent to hate you. It's just because you're not doing something right. This is why we should never, ever, ever delete our TikTok videos, because we can use the ones that flop to help us with the ones that grow. Captions are really important. And I don't mean captions as in the captions that you write when you're posting a video. I mean the subtitles that go across your page, the things that sync with your audio. They help you with your SEO. So people will read them and then it will help you with watch time. So you'll get a longer watch time if you've done captions. You will also get more people actually watching your video because lots of people watch with their kids around and, nobody ever wants to watch my TikTok videos with their kids around because I swear way too much. People watch on the bus, they watch on the train, they watch at the bus stop, they watch at work when they're not supposed to be watching. People watch in silent mode. So if you haven't got the writing saying what you're saying on your screen, you're going to lose followers and you're not going to get people engaging with your video. Little hack here for SEO as well. You see the text button on the screen, the one that says AA. If you type that, type what your video is all about. So if you're doing a video about how to wax your legs or whatever, just put how to wax your legs, put your finger on it and drag it off the screen. TikTok will know that it's there. It tells TikTok what your video is about, but your viewers won't see it. Just a little hack to help you with SEO. CapCut. CapCut is owned by TikTok. It is an editing app. It's really bloody useful. It's a great place to get your auto captions from. So it will all you need to do is press the new project button, upload your video. If you've recorded it in TikTok, there is a little download button that you can do before you post it so that you can take it out and add captions. You can also use a teleprompter. So if you're not very good at remembering the sorts of things that you want to be talking about, you can use a teleprompter. You can actually write yourself a script. Just be really careful and practice because you can tell people who are using teleprompters because you can see them reading. When you're watching TikToks, people who are talking loads and they never seem to make a mistake. Apart from me, because I've got a load of practice, I never use teleprompters because I'm dyslexic, can't do it. But if you struggle with video, you can get teleprompter in CapCut. You can also use AI. They've got effects, they've got scripts. You can retouch your photos in there. They've got video translators. You can script your video. You can use so many different things. You can remove backgrounds. You can edit your videos. So if you've edited something, you've recorded something, you don't quite like it, you can move it along. Anyway, CapCut is really great. There is a free version of it, but the premium version, I use the pro version. I think it's about $10.99 a month. And it just gives you personalized branding. So you can actually brand your captions so they can be your brand colors. Cover photos. Cover photos are really, really, really important. Can you see here that every single video that I've got tells you what that video is all about? If somebody lands on a video of yours, they're not going to want to go and scroll through every single video thinking, what's this video about? What's this video about? So if you think about it, labeling your content kind of makes it like a library. People can go and scroll and think, oh, I want to watch a video about Maddie's ADHD diagnosis. I want to watch a video about her Five Guys trip, whatever. This one's one that I'm posting tomorrow, national service. What the actual fuck? So anyway, you get the gist. To actually go and add a cover photo, when you're writing your captions, you can see this little photo in the middle. There is a thing that says edit cover. You press that button, it will give you a choice of what cover you want, and then you just literally write what your video is about. Trust me, this will help your content. If people just land on your video, land on your page, they're going to want to see what your videos are about. Analytics. Analytics are so important. especially for videos that flop, because you're going to want to know why they're flopped. You'll also want to know if your content is hitting the right people. Is it going to your ideal client? Do you have an ideal client? It's always really important when you're writing your content to speak directly to your audience. So for every single video you do, think, is this going to land with the person who I'm supposed to be selling to? If it is, you will be able to see who your followers are in your analytics. You can see how old they are, where they live. By the way, if you are a local content creator, you want your content to go just to local people, I would always recommend putting the location tag on your videos. If you are creating content that is like nationwide and you don't care who it goes to because you sell online and you sell to lots of different people, don't put location content because you're going to want it to go to everybody. You're going to want followers from all over the place. But if you only sell your products and services locally, you want to make sure that you're putting the location. Monitor your reach, see how well your videos are doing. You can set your thing to 60 days, you can set it to 30, you can set it to 7 days, but track your metrics. When you first start, write down how many people you reach in your first week. It's going to take a couple of weeks for TikTok to give you analytics when you first start, but once it does, it's so useful. You can then track how many followers you're getting, how your growth's going. You can see what's working and what's not working. You can also look at analytics for individual videos as well, which is really super duper helpful. Things like the promote button, stay away from it if you can. Never promote your content because if you start promoting your content, TikTok will think that you have money. It will probably never, ever, ever let your reach go again. You want to never, ever pay for content boosts. You don't want to be boosting. You don't want to be paying for ads on TikTok. You can go viral. I promise you can go viral just by doing the things that I say. Mindset is something that we often, the only thing that gets in our way is us. So when we're learning, we need to have an open mind. We need to have attitude, behavior, action equals success. We need to stay positive. If you have a video that reaches 25 people and you think, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so rubbish at TikTok. Stop it. It is a learning game. You have to keep learning. You have to keep improving. Things don't happen overnight. So it took me 3 months to get to 1,000 followers. It took me a year to get to 5,000 followers, a whole year. And I've now been doing TikTok for 2.5 years. I'm now at 60,000 followers. That did not happen overnight. It happened because I was consistent and I showed up and I talked about my content pillars, the 4 different things that I want people to know me for: ADHD, money, business, TikTok. Just those 4 things. And if you keep doing that, you will get where you need to be, but expect the long game. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay. Be consistent, whatever consistency means to you. So don't set yourself unrealistic goals. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to post 3 videos a day if you know you're not going to do it, because that's not going to help you. Posting 1 video a day is perfect. If you can get to that where you post 1 video a day, that's going to help you to grow. But if you can't do 1 video a day, do 1 a week. Do whatever works for you. Just bear in mind that your content and your output will reflect your followers and your views. So the more content you put out there, the more likely it is people are going to follow you, the more likely you're going to get that know, like, and trust, the more likely it is that you're going to make money from your content. And just keep trying. It's not something that happens overnight. These are my best practice tips. Okay. So I want you guys to be the best. So BEST. These are my 4 tips. Be consistent, whatever consistency means to you. Engage with popular accounts, not the Stephen Bartletts, not the Taylor Swifts, not the Stacey Solomons. Engage with popular accounts in your niche where their followers can become your followers. Stick to your niche, stick to your content pillars. Don't talk about things which are really random unless they're on your stories, because you want people to be following you for the things that you want to be known for. Test time and TikTok analytics. Those are the most important things. You need to give yourself time. You need to test what you're doing. Keep going. Check those analytics, see what's working for you. And if it's not working for you, try something else. So at the end of a little workshop, I always want to just give you a little bit of an upsell, tell you guys how you can work with me. So the cheapest way to work with me is by downloading the Mad About Money app. It's completely free. It has loads of resources on there to help you with both money and business. And you will find me hanging out there most days. Invisible to Influential is my membership. It is currently £7 a month. It's going to be £7 a month till the end of the month, and then it's going up to 27. So by the time you watch this back on replay, it might actually be £27 a month anyway. You guys get access to me. I review your content every single day. I share your content with my audience on whatever platform. It doesn't have to be TikTok. It can be on LinkedIn. It can be on Instagram. I don't share Facebook posts, but I do comment on them for reach. You can also work with me directly. So I'm a business coach. Whatever you need support with, you can work with me directly, or you can work with me through Access to Work. If you don't know about Access to Work, go and check out the link in my bio. I've got some free videos, some walkthroughs. It's essentially funding that you can get if you're neurodivergent, which will help you in the workplace. So that's my little upsell. These are my contact details. Please, if you're not following me on any of my platforms, do go and check out my platforms. And if you have enjoyed this video today and you think it's been really useful, if you could go and leave me a LinkedIn recommendation, Maddie Alexander-Grout, I would be super appreciative, because this workshop means a lot to me. Thank you all for listening. Really appreciate your time today. And if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on TikTok.